You're at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one is for Elucitary, who says, wasn't planning to submit a rant this month because I couldn't think of anything, but there has been some interesting talk on the Discord about dissociative identity disorder. So, rant about DID and specifically how it relates to performance art. Can playing a character be considered a lighter form of expressing a dissociative identity? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to try to speak on that subject. I mean, dissociative identity disorder is like a pretty fucking serious disorder. It's not just a matter of having like multiple personalities. It's literally not associating the actions of one personality with another one. Thinking that, there are multiple people, maybe not even remembering the actions taken by another personality inside your mind. Usually it takes pretty like hardcore trauma to create this kind of dissociation. Something that you have to put so much distance between yourself and your emotional trauma that you have to have a personality that is specifically just deals with that trauma that comes forth in order to interpret it. And the other personality has to take a back seat to that or possibly can't even remember it. As far as I know, it's a field that's still, or a disorder that's still like being studied. It's not perfectly understood, but it's not common. It's not something a lot of people suffer from. So, like, to regard it as a dissociative identity to be playing a character, I think maybe we're tapping into some element of how it's possible for dissociative identity disorder to exist. The idea that you can perform multiple identities, but I think if you have self-awareness of the fact that you're doing it or like, shared memories between them, I don't know if the word dissociative would really apply to that. But it's possible that maybe our ability to compartmentalize different personalities comes from a similar place. I mean, I definitely think that you can perform a character in such a way that you are acting as though you are just not the same person that you are normally. I mean, method acting is all kind of about that. This idea of like completely embodying your character, putting yourself in the mindset, thinking a certain way, acting a certain way until you feel as though you are someone else. And I think that is something we can do to ourselves almost easily, especially given the opportunity. Like, say, as an actor, you are not going about everyday life the same way that most people do. You are not like, going to work and clocking in at a 9 to 5 and, spending time with family the same way that you might normally. You have the opportunity to spend a lot of time engrossing yourself in how to be this person. And like, personality and everything is entirely performative in the first place. Like, it's not your personality doesn't like just root out of some deep sect of your mind and it just is who you are. It's something that you learn to be. You develop a set of beliefs, a set of expectations for how a person is. You perform those things deliberately. You learn how to be that person, and then you continue to be that person. So you can learn to be somebody else. But, like, it's difficult once you've reached a certain point because so much of what you've learned and so much of how you've lived your life has been about performing this person that to then try to perform somebody else feels like a disconnect. It feels like, again, a dissociation. So, maybe even closer to a dissociative identity than acting is people who try to make like a radical lifestyle shift and to perform a different person. And if you can actually succeed at that, it might feel like you aren't even the same guy as you used to be. I don't know. There's a lot you could think about when it comes to this, but I don't want to like try to get to like I don't understand how dissociative identity works well enough or understand the brain well enough that I feel like I could make definitive statements about whether performance art is similar to DID or if they're just two different things. But it definitely seems like people have the ability to sort of lock themselves off and to become something else. And on the surface at least, it looks similar.